World Eyes brings you any educational knowledge or information around the globe, current or many years ago, that has historical or significant value. It is your eyes to the world.
Hi guys, I'm here to discuss something that is close to my heart. Manila and the global warming. Global warming is everywhere. It is happening around the world. No one is safe from global warming. It is within us. Global warming disrupts the weather pattern.
It brings about climate change that the end results are intense heat and droughts, strong waves, powerful storms, and more damaging floods.
And all of these are happening around us.
So I thought, if the small town in Alaska that I had been and had worked for 8 years, which is situated at the edge of the Arctic Ocean, at the point where the Beaufort and the Chukchi seismic could go underwater, God forbid, and vanish from the face of the earth. The thought of the country where I came from, the Philippines, which is composed of 7,100 islands, is much more in a very precarious situation, as it is bounded by big bodies of water, namely the South China Sea, the Pacific Ocean, Sulu and Celebes Seas, and the Basi Channel. When these bodies of water warm up, most of the water that evaporates from the ocean converts into rain and storms, sometimes big storms that could cause an island to go underwater or worse, sink. The hydrological cycle happening in water is not actually the problem. The problem is the impact of climate change that disturbs the water cycle. The Philippines is located within the Pacific Ring of Fire, meaning very much susceptible to frequent earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Coupled with the climate change that causes sea level rises, natural disasters like flooding and landslides. The Philippines is also visited by about 20 typhoons every year. Some of those typhoons are so strong that it could wipe out an entire town. It is not surprising that in 2020 meeting of the 25th Conference of the Parties to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, or COP25, in Madrid, the German Watch Institute reported that the Philippines is among those at risk from climate crisis. This is precisely because of its vast coastlines, where all of its major cities and the majority of the population reside. Its geography itself that makes it at a higher risk from the effects of climate change. What is disheartening is a study released by the Greenpeace East Asia that Manila, the seat of the Philippine government and the most developed city in the country, is the third most likely to be affected by global warming among the 7 Asian countries identified in the report, namely Bangkok, Jakarta, Tokyo, Taipei, Seoul, and Hong Kong. In 2015, Manila registered a population of about 12.8 million people, which is considered the most densely populated in the world at that time, which is until now. Manila is so congested that housing and urban problems contributed much to its perennial traffic jam. With Manila being overpopulated, the need for water becomes a problem, forcing the government to extract water from the ground exacerbating the problem of groundwater within the region. Coupled with this, the agriculture, fisheries, and commercial industries also need large volumes of water, thus resulting in over-extraction of the groundwater, further resulting to gradual sinking of the Earth's surface, thus more flooding. The plan to construct an airport city complex in Manila Bay, which would require extensive reclamation of the Bay Area, may bring intense flooding in the coastal and low-lying areas of Bulacan and other nearby places. In fact, Manila, together with the rest of the cities in Metro Manila, are sinking already by about 10 centimeters annually. The sea levels are rising 4 times faster than the global average of 3.2 millimeters per year. Climate change leads to more intense typhoons, higher sea levels, and storm surges. Water will continue to consume Metro Manila and areas facing the Manila Bay. Continuous flooding of Manila through the years could ultimately inundate and damage the monument of Jose Rizal, as well as the walled city of Intramuros and other historical buildings and establishments. It is grimly predicted that by 2030, or just a decade afterwards, Manila may become a lake as the sea levels continue to rise at an unprecedented rate. Millions of people will be displaced, aside from destroying its economy. If the government would half-heartedly address the problems of climate change facing Manila now and the rest of the 7,100 islands. The move to decongest Manila by transferring the seat of the government to Tarlac in the new Clark City by 2030 could be the right move in the right direction, in anticipation of what most probably could happen should the current condition continues unabated. Furthermore, if the Philippines can scrap or phase out the committed coal-fired plants projects and then tapping the $30 billion renewable energy investment opportunity designed to bring clean energy and to protect the forest from the climate-related hazards by replanting of trees and ending deforestation, the specter of what global warming poses could still be averted or mitigated. The droughts in Europe and the United States, the raging wildfires in California, the strong storms in Southeast Asia, and the floods everywhere in the world you are now watching on the screen are all happening in real time. Shall we just shrug our shoulders and let nature take its course while the problem of global warming continues to eat us all? Or shall we do something now so that we can still save our planet for the future generation to enjoy and to live in peace as well? If we put our acts together to help lower the emission of energy-related carbon dioxide to net zero by 2050, it would give us and the world at large, including Manila, an even chance of limiting the global temperature to 1.5 degrees Celsius. By phasing out the use of fossil fuel and switching to an economy based on renewable energy, the dire prospects of global warming that are now facing the world could still have a chance to be reversed or prevent the world from continuously spiraling downward. Such would be a great undertaking and sacrifice by all the people of the world, and it would be the greatest challenge that humankind has ever faced and to have addressed. And that's for now for World Eyes. Stay tuned on my next vlog and don't forget to subscribe, please. Thank you.